So now, inshallah, if you all are gathered together, inshallah, we'll begin with the proceedings for the Thursday evening majlis. As yourselves know, the purpose of this majlis now is to, first of all, everyone knowing the practices of lataif, transfer, and going through the muraqabah. And in the muraqabah, not only meeting the mashayikh, but also maybe some guidances and nasihat given to remember that and capture that, inshallah. And also then share in the feedback after the sessions immediately. Also, if there's any difficulties, any questions, or any clarification needed or interpretation needed, then that could be also been, that is also supported here as well for that purpose. If there's any mistakes, to clarify that this is also the place for it, inshallah, regarding the spiritual openings. So the nasihat part now usually is after the muraqabah part now, as you yourselves know, inshallah. So inshallah today, after the lataif practices and transfer, inshallah we should transfer, obviously be with the teacher, and as they're in Morocco, in the blessed city of Fas, in Morocco, be with them in their company, meet all the mashayikh there, especially like Sheikh Sayyidina Abdul Aziz al-Dabbagh, Sheikh Sayyidina Ali bin al-Harazim, Sheikh Sayyidina Abdul Salam al-Mashish, and all the awliya, Sheikh Sayyidina Idris Awal and Idris Akhir as well. And all the mashayikh there, most of it is known as the city of awliya, so you can get to see many of the awliyas there as well. And nasiyat and guidance from them, specific from the mashayikh of Tariqa Muhammadiyya, Sheikh Sayyidina Abdul Aziz al-Dabbagh, Sheikh Sayyidina Ahmed al-Dabbagh, and so on, inshallah. So approximately now, inshallah, we'll do the lataif for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then for about 20 minutes or so, inshallah, we'll transfer and go to the muraqabah journey and the process. And no matter what level we're experiencing, be it thought, imagination, or otherwise, inshallah, you just go with the flow and carry on. So with this, inshallah, we'll begin. So to begin with the recitation, before recitation of the protection azkars, first of all, we should close our eyes and then rectify our niyat, our intention, that we do only sat here to remember Him for His pleasure and to be in the presence that Allah is with us, Allah is seeing us, Allah is hearing us. Then inshallah go through the protection azkars, then the startup azkars after that, with the three muraqabahs in between, the humbleness, the thankfulness, and the reliance. Then the startup azkars, inshallah, I will remind each one of them. And then inshallah begin the lataif. The three stages of lataif. Number one is the first white one all over, as we breathe in, going right through our mind and breathe out with our mouth. Then the 7 individual ones, step 2, and step 3 is again, our getting bigger and lighter as we breathe in and breathe out, and then eventually we transfer, inshallah, with the teacher, and then carry on thereafter. Okay, inshallah, begin now, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات والأرض من ذا الذي يشفع قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق غاسق رب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد الناس ملك الناس إله الناس المحب الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس. The three thoughts of humbleness, reliance, and humbleness, thankfulness, and reliance, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayk. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayk. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayk. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. السلام عليك أيها النبي. السلام عليك أيها النبي. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحابه وسلم. Inshallah, slowly you can return and inshallah open your eyes, inshallah. Inshallah, just turn by turn. If you can, please begin with the feedback as well, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
While I was doing my Lataif at the Red Lataif, I ended up in the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh, and as I was right in front of me, so I was doing the Lataifs there, and as I was physically very tired. They were in MURAQBA, and there's like physically they went to sleep, and had a heard a voice from inside the Mazar. It was inspired. So that my son is very tired physically. He's working day and night for the deen. So you need to pull your weight to the nearest meeting. Help him pass our message on. Then carried on with the rest of the types. After the transfer, went inside the Mazar, gave salam to Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh, asked for forgiveness. And I didn't see them, just to give salam. Then next minute I ended up in Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani Rahimullah Mazar. Gave salam there with as a sahaba. I couldn't picture as a sahaba, I knew they were there. Next minute I ended up Sayyidina Abdul Salam in Washish Rahimullah's Mazar. Gave salam there. From there we went and ended up with Sayyidina Ahmad Tijani Rahimullah. Gave salam there. From there to Mullah Idris the second. Gave salam, kept giving salam to the Mashayikh. From there ended up Mullah Idris the first. Gave salam there. From there Mullah Abu Yaz al-Maghribi Rahimullah. Gave salam there. From there to Medina Sharif. Gave salam outside the Gumbad Sharif for quite a bit. Then later on ended up near the Jali Mubarak. Slowly with them as a sahab. I knew they were there, but I couldn't picture them. Then went to the inside the Mazar of the Prophet ﷺ, bottom of the stairs. Gave salam there. While I was saying Assalamu alaikum Ya Rasulallah, Assalamu alaikum Ya Habibullah. Gave salam, then Assalamu alaikum Ya Jaddal Imam Hassan al Hussain. Then I ended up at Imam Hussein's Mazar with the sahab. Then give salam to Sayyidina Imam Hussain. While I was saying Assalamu alaikum Ya our master Imam Hussain, it's like they were like smiling. They like hugged me and asked forgiveness. And after that, ended up back at Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh Mazar. As the Sahib was there in front of me, sat in the MURAQBA again. It was like there's so much noor, I couldn't picture him. Even the Mazar was full of noor. It was just too much noor, I couldn't picture anything. And that's it.
MashaAllah, Mubarak is a blessed journey. And yes, it is true that the teacher is literally giving every second of the life, day and night, conveying the message of Deen to the whole world. And it would not be shame that we're living in the same town, the same locality and same country, that people around the world are benefiting and traversing. That number one, that we are still falling behind or not traversing as such. not rectifying ourselves, going to tazkiyah, and secondly, then also not being the mission to convey the message, that saying the mission of which our teacher is, and the vision that he has, how to reach to the four corners. At least we should begin with our own self, that whatever stage we are at in the purification course and the journey, we should quickly traverse that now. We shouldn't be the one when they return from all this journey, a tiresome journey, and then we go in and saying, Hazrat Sahib, I'm struggling with my eye sheet, I'm struggling with the ear sheet. And we are the one who are the most closest physically, day-to-day basis. Or I can't get on with my family, I can't get on with my wife. Or wife says I can't get on with my husband. Or this brother's here, I can't get on with, I have a fallout, dispute. Imagine what we hear about how tiresome they are, and as though, although it's very hard to express, the one's life is given away second by second. And yet, it may be 10, 15, 20 years, we're still at the same stage. And to the sometimes, certain instance, it goes to such a point where then no one can sort it out. No, the brothers, ustads, whoever they are, they can't sort it out anymore. And the teacher has to pick up the pieces and deal with the brothers and the sisters and all the other matters, and they have to then advise and guide. And even then, we're not following how we should be. We're following our own self. So it will be very shame, and it's quite shameful really, to ourselves, that despite all the blessings, some of us are here from the beginning, early days as well. And each time they return, we're presenting our filth and our gandagi all the time. Here you go, Hazrat Sahib, here you go. It's as though we're throwing out at their face. So what else can they say? They can't say anything else. They say, well, carry on, we'll advise you, carry on until the end of times. So this lesson for us really, that if we actually are determined, many things we can sort out ourselves and get our house in order, so to speak. Figuratively speaking, that we can get ourselves in order and be serious. Even like this morning, if you were listening, there's one teaching they were saying. One asked that, what does it mean by Hanafi Sheikh and submission of the teacher? And the two teachings they mentioned, and in there lies many issues, and in there lies solution to all the problems that we are facing. That really, if you do really submit and understand who our teacher is and their nature is, then every single one of us can reflect that at our level. And if you can reflect that at our level, then many of the issues that we are facing, we created issues ourselves, we don't exist. Number one, what did they say? That the part of the Hanafi Sheikh is simply like Sheikh Sayyidina Abdullah Salam bin Mashiz has advised his student at the time, Sheikh Abu Hassan Ali Shadili, that empty yourself of everything, come as a blank page. So here we think about different ideas, different things, knowledge and so on, but also sometimes we still carry on with our own vision, my own opinions, my own way of life, myself, that we still carry on with that. That only time when everything else, guidance, instructions matches with this, then I will accept, I will follow. If not, then I'll have 101 excuses, 101 reasons, 101 justifications to say, no, this is not right, this is not working out, it's because of this person or that person and so on. So really, we've not left these baggages that we have. We still have the baggages. We've not really come clean, like they say, left everything and come clean like a clean sheet of paper. And the second thing is that you should allow the Sheikh's tongues to be free on you. So it was mentioned in the answers that if you listen to it. So what does that mean? That means that that you should be someone that you came for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His pleasure, that you do not mind that the way, how they say something, the way they say something. Whatever the way they want to express something as an admonition to teach us, they should say it without thinking that, what if that person minds? What if he gets upset? Or then what if that he disappears for 3 months, he doesn't come in front of it because, I'm going to get telling off, I've not done something right. Or I get upset, I get annoyed, or slightly I get hurt that is said in a certain way. For those people, then the journey becomes very, very long. It's mentioned this morning, listen to the recording again on the Facebook, then their journey is very long. It takes years and years and years to reach. And the Mashaykh then only deals with them at that level. Because he's got so much baggage, so many of his own opinions, his own understanding, his way. So let them follow at that level. They'll treat him at that level as well. And for these people, then they think very deeply, what shall I say to him so that he doesn't mind, he doesn't get upset. So in fact, in practical terms, what's happening is the sheikh almost has to think that I'm the student and I'm still speaking to the student as though he's my sheikh, whereas the role should be the other way around. They think, no, I have to be very careful because I don't want to say something slightly out of line, then he'll get upset or he'll be annoyed. And this upset is not physical at all, I'm not coming to you, otherwise I'm upset. We don't express it like that. It manifests in a different way, where we then start not coming to the gatherings, I don't feel up to it anymore, I feel very down, or I'm not good enough anymore. These are all side reactions. Another way you can judge that is, it's an indirect one, that sometimes you don't express or feel like that about your own teacher, but then it's how your interaction with your fellow brothers, Tariq brothers and so on. Because that is a small litmus test, it's a test to see that how your relation with the teacher as well. That when you can't get on with the brother, when you're always falling out, you very much mind because he's saying something. It is a test because at the end of the day, although he's your brother in Tariq, but if this then goes to a higher level, let's go to an Amir, and then a higher Amir, and then the buck stops with the teacher. If the attitude is the same with the brother or the Amir, then you will carry on with the teacher. Only thing is you've been safeguarded not to show that attitude with the teacher by having this fellow brother as well. But really the inside, the darkness or that baggage is still there. Just because he's the brother, it manifests. Because the Mashaykh have done such a favor and such a compassion that it doesn't come at the highest level and then you destroy yourself, spirituality, so on. So that at least with the brothers, then it's fine. You've got room to improve and move on. So something to really think about. Because at the end of the day is every single one of us, all the brothers and sisters, spiritually we are all his children. And as you know, you're all fathers as well yourselves. If the two children are fighting and bickering all the time, although yes, one might be right, one might be wrong, but overall the father is upset that these guys are always fighting. I can't, separate them. I can't do anything about that. They're always fighting. I always think, what shall I do to keep him pleased? And imagine then he's got another set of sons where they never fight. They make sure the best that whatever issue I have, let's deal with it so that it doesn't reach to our father, so that he's happy that we're not fighting amongst ourselves. They are the ones more favored. Because apart from all the burden they're going around the world trying to help people, the ummah, different nationality, different people, different issues that people are facing, the traumas and the difficulties and the breakdown of the families, at least they're not getting one extra burden of worry, of hurt from his own children, i.e. spiritual children I'm talking about here. At least we are giving peace from that angle point of view. So if you understand from this angle, then we are failing again and again. Especially, I'm saying now, especially the close of us who are here. We meet day in, day out. So really, like Brother Ishtaq is saying, they're very tired. And they're one day, like I said, no one stays. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam not lived forever. Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Ali, Sayyidina Usman, all the companions, all the awliya, the mashayikh, no one lived forever. Their time came and they departed. They went to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this time will come eventually. But then what kind of legacy are we leaving behind for our own self? That's something to think about, inshallah. And secondly, what Brother Ishtaq said is true. When you do travel, what happens is without you realizing that you're saying that you think you're in the presence of the teacher, but you can't see him. What really is happening is that the teacher is as though picked yourself up and they're actually carrying you. So you as though you're seeing with the eyes of the teacher as well. You're basically carrying by their blessed soul. So that's why you don't see as a separate entity at that point. It's as though, yes, I feel the teacher, but I can't see him. It's like as though you don't see yourself as the shakal that you see, for example. I don't see myself like that, but I know I exist, for example, because I'm in me. So in that case, sometimes this happens until then you come back and the soul then departs as well. And you can see the teacher in front of you and so on. So that is a sign that sometimes our own self, we're not struggling with our journey or we can't really travel. But in these gatherings where there's a special tawajjuh and special, you could say, help from the Mashaykh to travel, to experience these muqamats and meet these awliyas as well, which normally, maybe we don't actually receive these things as well, inshallah. So that's like extra blessing for yourselves, that whatever little sacrifice you've been doing and so on, the mashaykh will be there for you as well, inshallah. Inshallah. The next person.
Assalamu
Wa alaikum salam.
After transferred, I met Hawza Sahab inside the Mazar Sharif. I was sort of stood on the doorstep, gave my salam to them. They called me inside, went, and they asked me, how are you, and things like that, and they told me to sit down beside them. I could feel the presence of Sayyidina Abdulaziz Dabbar Rahmatullahi alayhi. And from there we went to the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Salam bin Mashish Rahmatullahi alayhi, and then there we did Allah zikr there for a bit. And then we come back to the Mazar of Sayyidina Ahmad Tijani Rahmatullahi alayhi, and there was a little bit of a nasiha given by Hawza Sahab. Most of the brothers were there. At the end we come back to the Mazar Sharif inside again, and at that point I was going to ask a question. I was just about to say, oh my Sheikh, things like that, and I was just pondering upon myself again, seeing my deeds and the way I am. I thought, I'm not worthy of being in their company. I might as well just stay silent and just be with them rather than asking any questions and give them taklif and things like that. And then come back to this Zawiya here. On and off a couple of times I was here and there, and then focusing again, going back to them. From here, remember going back to the Medina Sharif and sat outside, and it was kind of that nur, felt it coming down, descending down, and then the door were kind of opening. At that point I was just focusing, and suddenly it just ended there.
Okay. One of the answers once they physically gave, that I have so many spiritual illnesses, like enmity, hatred, jealousy, envy, pride, arrogance, and so on, and so many other. And some of these illnesses actually sometimes manifest here and there. And maybe this will help us to actually answer some of our own questions as well. And they said, what is the way to actually get rid of these things? And so they gave an analogy of imagine it's a bird or a pigeon in a room who's got 100 mirrors, and then you're asked to go and catch that bird, and you see hundreds of birds inside, and you run around. Then someone then advises you, rather than running around everywhere and get tired and get lost, that just focus on where the real one is. And if you can go and capture that real one, then you've got all hundreds of them at the same time. And the answer of that is that the way to actually rid of all these illnesses is that we have to start loving the whole of the creation and everyone. That we want for their betterment, we want them to be blessed even more than ourselves, and we just love them for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter who he is, friend or foe, no matter what he is, for their betterment, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we just love them, so that they are blessed, their benefit, and so on. This one act, if someone adopts regularly, and then you have so much positive, you could say, reaction within ourselves, and a transformation as well. Because part of that is, if you think about what the teaching they say about the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that the greatest action is you could do is when you try not to cause harm to someone, yet you want to give joy to someone in their life. And where does it start from? It's in the heart, that you have that quality where you want to love everybody for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think, I believe, I hope, inshallah, that if we actually adopt this teaching now, that start loving everyone and be in the mission now, from now on, I want to give joy to everyone and not to cause harm to anyone. That teaching, whether we physically tell someone or announce on Facebook or not, the Mashaykh will be surely aware. And like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be most pleased with his servant, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with his ummati, the Mashaykh and the teacher will be most pleased. That look, he is trying to adopt something which essence, which we teach, we want to adopt in our life, and we are showing as an example. And he at his own level is trying that. So without to even asking and presenting ourselves again and again, all the issue is just try practice that answer which is given by them physically as well and spiritually. And then you see how it transforms, let alone anyone else's life, our own life. Many of this depression we follow, we face, and like sometimes you find the whole world is become very narrow and isolated. You see, we get liberated from all this. We become free, we become light, we become happy in our own selves by doing this act in itself, inshallah. So that's something that we should always try. I should try as well, inshallah, first and foremost. Inshallah, we'll continue with some of the feedback after. There's a few more to go, I think, because it's time for namaz. Is it 1:45 now? Namaz? Okay, so we'll take one more, then we break for namaz. We'll continue after for a short while, inshallah. Ji, Budamar.
Teacher, the Mazar of Sayyid Abdul Aziz al-Tabarak gave salam to them, embraced them, and then gave salam to the Grand Shaykh. And then they told me to sit down and started to do the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then from there, just started to perform MURAQBA dua. And after that, they were just in that state. I didn't really go anywhere else or do anything else.
Do you at a personal level as well, on a regular?
Not regularly, no.
Inshallah. I think obviously you've experienced, you transfer and so you've got that taste of it anyway, see and taste. To now to build on that and slowly advance is just take once, 1 week or 2 days of the week where you're dedicating, spending quality time like you are doing now here, where individually and personally you're practicing this as well, inshallah. And then you see like when you come to the sessions on a weekly basis, like on a Thursday, then you see like you're improving more and more, you're advancing naturally more and more, inshallah. Yeah, maybe one more, inshallah, for now.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I had transferred and met Hazrat Sahab inside a cube which was made out of light and had given them my salam. They then mentioned water benefits everything, because even if it's an ocean or raindrop, then they say water of dawa can benefit someone or destroy them. They then give the example by saying, if you water a plant with clean water, it grows, but if you water the plant with contaminated water, then you will destroy the plant and its surroundings. Then the name of Allah Azza wa Jal appeared and I began MURAQBA dua.
MashaAllah. So it's very, very clear and self-explanatory what you had said. And so what this clear word also indicating that whatever we do, that do it with a have level of sincerity. Like again, they mentioned it before. They mentioned this morning again about that person who end up thinking, making someone as Sheikh who used to be like a thief or like a leader of some kind of bandits and so on. But because he was so sincere and dedicated, his effort all these years he did about growing a mango tree and the fruit, it did not go to waste. At the end, he became one of the highest levels of awliya. So that's why the sincerity is most important. Because if one is not sincere, then no matter what great work we're doing outwardly, like water, it could become contaminated and foul. And then it has no benefit. You can still give great speeches, you can give great nasihat, but because if the sincerity is missing, then there won't be a much effect on the people who are listening, although it sounds good in words and sentences. So that's why this is the most important, like we go through purification course as well, mashallah. So that's good, mashallah. Inshallah, we'll break for Isha now, and then maybe take one or two after Isha.